अगले सेशन की ओर मुड़ते हैं और अब बात होगी बेहतरीन बिजनेस वुमेन की। इसके लिए मैं अपने पैनलिस्ट को बुलाना चाहूंगी। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए मोहिनी दलजीत सिंह, सीईओ मैक्स इंडिया फाउंडेशन, और शनी मलिक द मिलानो। और मैं अपनी सहयोगी रिचा से भी ये अनुरोध करूंगी कि वो स्टेज पर आए और यहाँ से इस सेशन को आगे बढ़ाएं। ओवर टू यू रिचा प्लीज।
गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी। आज हम सब यहाँ पे हैं सुबह से एंड हम बात कर रहे हैं वुमेन अचीवर्स की। हर डिफरेंट जॉनर्स की बात करी है हमने सुबह से, और इस समय हम बात करेंगे एक बिजनेस पैनल की। मेरा बिजनेस पैनल बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है बिकॉज हियर आई हैव शिवानी, जो एक बिजनेस एंटरप्रेन्योर है जिनकी जर्नी बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग रही है। मैं सब कुछ आपको बताऊंगी उसके बारे में। और यहाँ पे हमारे साथ है मोहिनी जी, जो मोर देन अ बिजनेस एंटरप्रेन्योर आई कुड से शी इज अ सोशल एक्टिविस्ट and her work in CSR is worth to talk about. But first, let's go across to Shivani. Interesting things that I was reading about you. You started Da Milano somewhere around 2000, and now it's been 18 years. You started with around 5 to 6 people, and now you're more than 1,500. Your journey kaisi rahi?
Actually, I joined the business in 2007 when Da Milano just was like a shop concept. So it was literally refounding Da Milano because we converted it from a shop concept to a brand. And it has been an interesting journey for the past 11 years. Today we are at 85 stores, and we aim to touch the mark of 100 by the end of this financial year. Of course, it hasn't been a cakewalk. There have been lots of challenges that we face. But I feel that's a part of every business. And being a woman entrepreneur, I've also faced challenges in terms of work-life balance. I'm also a mother of 2. So that obviously demands I need to be home as well for my kids. I think that was one of the biggest challenges that I faced as a woman entrepreneur.
Taking your point from there, Mohini ji, the factor that being a woman entrepreneur, consider that हम लोग कहते हैं कि women इतनी अच्छी entrepreneur नहीं हो सकती। मेरे हिसाब से they can be better entrepreneurs because at the first go we are homemakers also. So what is your take on that?
Definitely, I think they say women are made in men are made in Mars and women Venus. So one thing is that women are more sensitive, I believe. And even as entrepreneurs, you've got to be sensitive to the environment, to the needs, and to the stakeholders. So I think they make excellent entrepreneurs. And I'm sure you're one of them.
Also, thank you so much. Also, I think to be one of the aspects of being a good entrepreneur is patience. And I think women are better at patience than men.
I think we all would agree over here. The kind of patience women have, men cannot even choose to have that. No. Talking about your CSR activities, आपने social work की तरफ हमेशा काम करा है for the upliftment of the society. Tell us more about that, and especially being a woman, does that come naturally?
I think it comes naturally. This is me. I mean, to me it comes very naturally, but I have to say that it is also a product of my environment and my upbringing. I got a very early sensitization into this. I was the oldest of 4 children. I think with that comes responsibility. But also being a student of Loreto Convent, Lucknow, I got an opportunity to work with Mother Teresa's home as it was coming up in Lucknow. We were among the first volunteers. And it touched me, the dignity with which the nuns looked after the absolutely from the street. And then with them, we used to go and work in the bastis of Charbagh in Lucknow, jo ki aaj I might be a little hesitant to go there. But we were full of beans, and we went there and we played with the children and we taught them things, and we got ideas of how to improve them in their health and hygiene. We got permission to bring them to the college and school, and it started there. Soon after, in fact straight after college, I got married. Being an army daughter, I got married to it's not inevitable, but I got married to a young army captain. And in the armed forces, we have the environment of working as a family with each other. And un dinon mein, hamari jawans' wives were mostly uneducated. And many of them used to stay in the villages and used to hardly ever get the opportunity to come to the cities. The men are very busy. The Jawans, the army men are very busy. And for them always, including my husband, it's work and work first. It's always their duty. So therefore, we stepped in and treated them like family. Many of them did not know the language. They come from all different parts of the country, as you know, and they only know their own language. और फिर उनको adult education कराना, उनकी health पर देखना, because rural women never care for their own health first. Most women don't, but you can imagine uneducated rural women. So there was a lot to do, and for me, it was not ticking in the box. It was coming from the heart and doing not just what you were expected to do, but I believe when you communicate with the community, जब उनको मिलो, उनसे बातें करो, you understand their needs greatly. And therefore, I found as we went along, as my responsibilities increased with my husband's ranks, and as he went higher, the number of people under him were more, and therefore more families for me to worry about, to care for. I thought of so many ideas, and I saw them bearing excellent fruit. And I remember in 2007 when he retired from the army, he was a very gratified man, being number 2 in the whole hierarchy at that point. And I felt I had really made a difference, because in the last year where we were in Chandi Mandir, I had even started a small TV channel. I think it's very relevant to mention it here. I used to call it Chandi Mandir Dhadkan. It was through the cable network, and we used to cover everything that happened in the cantonment. And every week we had an interview with a doctor, and they would tell us about the diseases of the season, how to prevent. And after some time, no, I only invested in making a small studio. You have to make it soundproof and all that. You know it better than me. And I asked the ladies, girls, I want to start this. Any volunteers? So one doctor's wife, colonel's wife, told me, ma'am, before I got married and we were in Pune, I did a short course in film editing. I said, bas theek hai, aaj se this job is yours.
So we can safely say that women always support women and they're not their worst enemies.
I just wanted to mention this part. So when he retired, I said I felt very gratified. But guess what? I think there was someone upstairs who had other views. And I was almost asked to join Max to start the foundation, which I did very happily, because I wasn't looking for a job at that point, I have to tell you. But it seemed just the right thing for me. And I honestly believe it was God above saying, "Tumne itna seekha hai, ab go out there and do it." So I'm mostly humbled by the opportunity.
Your contribution to the society is very, very important, and this does cause for a round of applause for all the selflessness that you have shown and you've worked for them. It is very, very important. It's not very easy. You would agree, it is not very simple to give back to society.
Yeah,
and being an
but I
entrepreneur,
think as women entrepreneurs, we all have it in ourselves. We feel responsible for the society. And when society does so much for us, we feel like giving back in our own ways. I also, my mother runs a charitable school, and I do whatever I can in whatever time I can. I give to that school, and each time that I go there, I am touched, and it's just another level of contentment, I think. And I think women have that in them. So whatever little we can do to support the society, I think women entrepreneurs do that far more than our male counterparts.
Shivani, यहाँ हम बात कर रहे हैं women entrepreneurs की. If we talk about young women entrepreneurs in India, as we know that's an initiative by the government, Make in India, they want to do ease of business. Everybody, we expect this idea of startups all the time. What do you say? What is your suggestion to people who are starting up, especially young girls who want to start up a business?
I would say there is no better time to start a business than it is today. Women are being celebrated. There's support from families, there's support from the government, there's support from everyone around. There is no better time for women to start doing business than now. Even 10 years ago, there was a big challenge because women were not taken as seriously as they are probably taken today. We had to work much harder to prove ourselves time and again. But I think today, because of platforms like this, because of media support, because of the awareness created by the government as well, women are being promoted, being celebrated, and I think there's no better time for them than to start
जो
business now.
शिवानी कह रही है वो एब्सोल्युटली राइट है कि अब से बेहतर को भी कोई टाइम था नहीं, बट यू हैव बीन इन द बिजनेस फॉर वेरी लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, यू हैव बीन अ पार्ट ऑफ इट, यू हैव सीन इट इवॉल्व. व्हाट इज योर परसेप्शन?
You know, talking of CSR, this is the social entrepreneurship. There are two angles to it. One is that we feel that we as Indians are great philanthropists. I don't know about that to some extent, but most of that philanthropy is really also quite selfishly motivated many of the times. However, with the coming in of the Act, yes, most corporates are taking it much more seriously. But as far as we are concerned, the Max India Foundation, I mentioned I joined in 2007 and in fact exactly when my husband retired, because we'd had a conversation before, and we were doing it ever since. And as I said, it came to me naturally. You know, the more you see around you, you cannot help but feeling connected. And I feel that each one of us has a great role in nation building. One of the important things I feel, and I must say it here, it's very important to initiate young people, like students, especially college students, but right from school, to start thinking of others and to be able to give. Because the middle class now, you see, earlier we were barely making our bread and butter.
Yes.
So it was difficult to give. We weren't into charity as much as the Western world because we didn't have that extra. Now I think we have our bread, butter and jam, and most of us can give, even if not in money but in time. Even young children from good homes, many of their parents encourage, they can teach their servants' children, they can go out, and that is where it starts. Then one more thing I want to say, nothing is too small, friends. Every drop makes an ocean. Nothing is too small. Don't be hesitant. If we do things together, and it is now, I think we're coming to a point. Again, I would agree with you that there are more women entrepreneurs who are more socially inclined, because I think we feel what a family feels. We are also the nucleus of a family, so we understand all the paradigm, we understand the paradoxes which go on.
The nuances are understood by women better.
Yes, and you know, the struggle of young women who may be living in slum areas, in villages, who want to break out. We have adopted a village cluster in Uttarakhand, in fact 2 village clusters. But I just want to give you a small example of one of them, which is Dhakrani, near Paonta Sahib. So we have started, though it's mainly on the health platform we are working, we've also put in a complete sewage network and STPs, which I don't think anybody's done in any village. But in spite of, so we started a skill development center, small one, for the school dropouts, because I believe that idle teenagers in a village means antisocial activities, it means drugs. So let's start this. So we started it with a lot of mobilization, and we have, the first batch has passed out 26, we're in the second batch. Now, 60% of the people in Dhakrani are Muslims, and most of them don't want their girls to go out. And I had quite a few girls. So about a month or 2 after this first session started, and they were all students and full of beans, and you know, they were actually talking English. I think they were learning it by heart, but at least, you know, my name is so-and-so, my father is so-and-so, I live in Dhakrani. The first day they told me all that, I was really impressed. So there was a small event for the inauguration of the 4th phase of the STP. And the whole village had collected. We were waiting for the SDM. So since he was late, so I said, anybody wants to talk? And this young girl came up like this to the lectern, and she said, "Aaj tak hum logon ko ghar ke andar band rakha tha. Abhi hum ye hum training kar rahe hain, aur hum abhi bahut kuch karenge, hum bahar jaake job lenge." And her confidence was totally amazing. So, you know, these small little things.
Yes.
And this girl has got a job for 6,000. And her father was a rickshaw puller who was earning 3,000 a month. So you can imagine.
That is exactly why we say we stand together, we stand stronger, always.
We always stand. together and we stand stronger.
Absolutely. Shivani, being a woman entrepreneur, as we talk about these things and helping each other out, a very question I'm sure a lot of people must have asked you over the period of time. The difficulties that you face that have always been there, but there's something that is happening recently, the Me Too movement, which happened in different industries. Has it been a part of entrepreneurship also? Even when you're heading, you're at the top of the panel. When people say it's usually when the top heads, they create pressure at the bottom. But maybe you could be heading and people could be acting funny with you. Has something like this ever happened or you acknowledged it around?
To be honest, I have personally never experienced anything of this sort. But this movement has brought a lot of awareness, and me as an entrepreneur, I take special care now to look after all the women in the organization and make sure that none of them are also facing these kind of issues. I think being a woman on top, I'm able to help a team which has so many other women, because I understand, you know, what could they be going through with all this. So with this movement, I think a lot of male entrepreneurs have also sort of started, you know, taking measures and supporting this movement. I think it's sort of created a revolution, and I'm really glad that the media has really supported this movement.
It certainly has had a positive impact in every sphere, whichever part it has hit. What is those motivational things that you do for your people as a woman entrepreneur, for people who work under you, especially women?
You know, for any organization, especially a brand like ours, I think it's the people who create the brand. It's the people behind the brand who run the brand. We can't be present everywhere ourselves. So I think it's very important for employees to be highly motivated, and because they're the one-point contact to our customers. So I think what we personally do is we define the roles of each and every employee. We have motivational structures in place. There's training that's going on. We have so whatever vision we have, we make sure that it is penetrated to the lowest level. And these kind of employees create the customer experiences that we want to actually present to the customers. So for us, our employees, people who are working for us, are very, very important. We give them the space to work, and I think reward them whenever they do a good job.
That's really nice, and your brand has been doing very well. It's one of the best brands in India when we talk about fashion and leather. How do you consider, with the growing market, where do you see your brand right now in India and globally, and how's the competition?
I would firstly thank you for saying this to us, because, you know, when we started, this was something that was such a dream, and to be able to live through the dream is a different feeling. You know, with the international brands coming into India, I think it has really helped our brand to grow, because we provide the consumer the same sort of an experience. Our after-sales services, consumer being the king, as most brands want it. We've, you know, when they compare these international brands with our brands, and the pricing that we are, you know, giving our products to with better quality, I think our sales have actually increased and brand loyalty has gone up even more. So actually the competition as of now from international brands has boosted our confidence even more, and we are ready to take on the international markets even more.
We wish you more luck for that.
Thank you so much.
Talking about CSR activities, what is that one thing that you tell other businesses also, people in other businesses, when they have to do CSR activities?
What I tell them is that CSR is integral, and it's something you have to do, not just for the beneficiaries, but for yourselves. Very important for the credibility of the business. Everybody watches and they want to see what you're doing. So I feel that it's not so much a question of an option. Now the time is there for everyone to do. And all of us have to put ourselves together, because, you know, we can only grow inclusively. If we don't grow the communities around us, that is the businesses don't grow them, then their own growth will be hampered. So that is the one thing when you said, what will you tell the businesses? So I will tell them that they must look after the communities, they must grow them, they must be inclusive, otherwise their own growth will not be.
Which is the best way you consider is giving back to the society? Which is the best form in which
So
you
I think the best way for each business is to see where their competencies lie and in their area of work. For example, when we started the foundation...
We're talking about example. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Shivani has a business here. If you would have to suggest us a CSR activity, what would it be like?
Yeah. So what I say is your core competencies. So if you have a factory, then you have to also see to the factory, the workers and their health, their environment, their education of the children. That is one of them. And then you have to extend it to others, because technically CSR is not for your employees, because that is part of your HR funds. But when you do CSR, you get a tax benefit from the government because you're doing it for the society at large. So what you can do best, one of the best things you can do is to start a training organization where you can train exactly what you want, the fine workers that you want, and that would be generating employment.
So here we have an interesting offer for you also.
So we, of course, because we are in the businesses of life, so we said that we must do healthcare for the underprivileged. That's our core competency. That's what we know how to do, and we do it well. So that is what we have to do.
And how's the returns been for that? How many people or how many villages and how many people across the country?
So direct beneficiaries, direct, is over 3 lakhs. Now when I say a direct, if I have had a surgery, we do even cancer and we even do pediatric cardiology, besides doing awareness, besides doing health camps, besides doing screening and artificial limbs and a lot of other things. But if I have saved a life, I have benefited a family, not just one person. And especially when they come for cancer and all, it's very expensive, but they don't have the treatment in other towns where they live. Suppose someone's come from Uttarakhand. They leave their job, they sell their fields, there's no bread earner, they come here. And so, once you save a person or you save a life, then you've benefited. I mean, many times from the corporate you ask these numbers, the numbers game. And I've always told them, they stopped asking me. I said, for me, one child saved is a lot. Now don't worry about numbers. Because when you immunize one child, you've actually saved that child from a lot of deadly diseases.
Yes.
So, yes, 3 point something was the last count of direct beneficiaries. But I think it's a lot more. For example, sometimes if we do a program on a TV, so we've done a few, when you guys are kind and don't charge us too much, then suppose it's on awareness for something. So, maybe 6 lakh people see it, I don't know.
Yes.
So they're all beneficiaries of that. So
Yes.
I was just wanting to say
There
are a lot of indirect beneficiaries. So
Absolutely.
I hope...
It has always helped a lot of people, and we are glad that it is going on helping people, because बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिनको ज़रूरत है और उनको मदद नहीं पहुंच पाती है.
Especially anti-tobacco. हमारे anti-tobacco programs बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. We are working with Delhi police. जो भी चालान आजकल हो रहे हैं वो हमारे कारण ही हो रहे हैं, because we have empowered them with how to implement COTPA. So, this is one of the things. So, anti-tobacco पे बहुत programs होते हैं.
That is very, very good and very important. Absolutely. Shivani, talking more about women entrepreneurs, things that you consider that, as you said, it has become much easier now. Now, you also pointed out that you're a mother of 2. How do you make that balance? Usually, over the entire day, we have spoken to a lot of people from different fields, and a lot of them were mothers. And it's interesting to know that women are doing so well in all fields and even taking motherhood so well.
I think work-life balance is a complicated topic, and there is no best answer to that. I have repeatedly thought about this, and I think it's about the priorities that you make, is the decisions that you take. There is no correct answer to a work-life balance, and I don't think anyone I know is doing the best at it, because for everyone it's a different balance. It's what you personally feel. It's what you personally, what makes you happy. Because I think when you are happy and when you are satisfied, you are able to give more to whichever field you picked up. So I think there's no correct answer. I try and balance as much as I can. I spend time with my children. I take breaks with them if I can't. If I'm traveling, I'll take a weekend off during the month. That's my way of giving back to them. But I feel today my children are proud of what I have done, and I've inspired them, and I think that's the balance I've achieved in my life.
That is very, very good. It's not a very easy balance, I'm sure.
Thank you.
What are those qualities? It's not easy to pinpoint ये 5 qualities हो तो आप एक अच्छे entrepreneur बन पाओगे. But ऐसी कोई तो quality होगी जो आप कहते हो कि अगर आप एक entrepreneur बनना चाहते हैं, जैसे बहुत simple होता है, जब स्कूल में होते हैं, कहते हैं या तो सबसे शैतान बच्चे को monitor बनाया जाता है या जिसमें leadership quality होती है वो monitor बनता है. कहते हैं वैसे ही लोग अच्छे entrepreneurs बन सकते हैं, जिसमें एक leadership quality होती है वही एक अच्छा manager बन सकता है. What are those qualities that you consider are extremely important when you want to be an entrepreneur and a woman entrepreneur?
I think for me the most important is team building. I think when you have a strong team, you're able to achieve a lot more. And I think women are blessed as team leaders because we're sensitive, more sensitive than our male counterparts. Hence, we're able to understand our teams better, and they are happier working with women, I think. Obviously another aspect is to be a visionary, to be able to have a goal and work towards that goal. Another one which I think again is more women specific is being a multitasker. And I think women are far better at multitasking than men. And being an entrepreneur, you have to look at, I think, 10 different fields at the same time, and you're honestly just like multitasking. And women are blessed with being good multitaskers.
Would you agree with Shivani that these are the qualities for a good woman entrepreneur: multitasking and team building and patience?
Yes, definitely. I think so. And with that, I think one more thing, I think we are good at psychology. So we understand, and also other one which is connected is communication.
Yes.
Communication skills where you need to listen a lot. And also that is also, that helps you to keep the team together as well. So your communication skills, I think if they are good, if you listen to things, you are sensitive to what people, so then you can quickly adapt, adjust, and get onto the right path. And an understanding, and otherwise I totally agree with her.
Also responsibility, maybe. I mean, entrepreneurs in general have to be, I think, more responsible, and women are blessed with that as well.
They're with being responsible, surely. मोहिनी, हमने बात करी आपके success की, आपकी journey की. Important बात है जिससे लोग ज़्यादा सीखते हैं, वो है failures and even the hardships. आपके लिए कैसे रहे?
Yes, there are a lot of challenges because, especially into the villages, I would say, and other things, there are two or three things. One is people suspect. If you're giving them something free, why are you doing it? If you tell them कि टीके लगाने पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं.
People in our country are not used to good people.
I guess it's not easy. And then, unfortunately, this culture of corruption. Ever since I started on the village adoption program, I'm sure my blood pressure has gone up many notches. Because if the local governance, the gram panchayats and other things, people feel that if there is a big project that has come to our village, अब हमारी individual pockets में खूब पैसा जाएगा. और वो तो जाने नहीं वाला. हम आए हैं उनके लिए कुछ करने के लिए भी, but we are going to do it on the ground, which they don't understand, many of them. So that has been a real struggle. And another thing I discovered, that even in the villages, it's more important for them to be either a BJP or a Congress or something, rather than कि गांव में क्या हो रहा है. So
unfortunately, everything gets politicized.
Also there are divisions. Who was the ex-panchayat fellow? And then they keep on, suspecting each other. That affects our work. And that is one. And the other is that, you have to have a lot of patience, as we said, and hammer on and on. मतलब एक चीज़ बताइए तो that's not good enough. उसको आपको हर बार बताना पड़ता है, ठोकना पड़ता है. That's what I keep telling my team. Saying it once is not. Every time you meet them, you have to say the same 5 things. Only then it will get. Then, you know, in the corporate world also, to be honest, among your own groups also, CSR is, you know, a little bit on the side. And it's like, chalo, Mohini ko outsource kiya hua hai yahan Max India Foundation. But not everyone wants to be a participant. And our model, the way I've modeled it, the way our management, the way our chairman wants it, is to have participation, volunteer participation. So we do that. I have a very small team. But it's a big challenge. If I say I'm doing a camp here, please come, everybody will have 20 things they are doing. And you know, then because, again it filters, their own managers have to encourage them, you know.
Yes.
Because if the manager says, "Acha, tum to yahan nahi thi, tum apne sales targets pehle karo." So these are challenges.
So always the output looks easy, but all the input that goes into it is very difficult and full of challenges.
Yes.
Shani, I'm sure you will also agree with it, that nothing comes easy. And the journey is always the hard part. Everybody looks at the end. अंत में सभी देखेंगे डा मिलानो हर मॉल में है, बड़े बड़े showrooms हैं, they are making a lot of money. Nobody understands the hardship that you put into it. What have your learning curve been like?
Of course, the path has been full of challenges. Every barrier that we broke, like every achievement, it wasn't easy. So when we moved from 2 stores to, say, 5 stores in Delhi, was one landmark. And Delhi was relatively an easy market for us. But the moment we moved outside of Delhi, each market came with different challenges. To get the spaces in the malls, to understand the customer, everything. Every city has a different way of operating. Every customer in different parts of the country are also different. Their preferences are also different. So this took a while for us to understand, and with every city that we came into, different challenges came up. My only advice to everybody is don't give up, you know. Challenges will come your way, but you only failed if you've given up. So if you stay in the race and you know your product is good, you know your business is good, it will rise. The idea is to be patient.
Can I just add one more thing, which I say is equally relevant to me as to you, that is quality. I think if you maintain your quality, you'll never go wrong. Have the confidence. That's what we say, even in our work, all the time and every time. I said, don't compromise on our SOPs, don't compromise on anything. Quality and excellence, and that's
certainly very important advice for everybody here and everybody listening to us also. कि quality पे कभी भी हमें, you know, we should never compromise onto it. When you're wanting to do business, you should always consider as a fact that customer is king. Do you think that's the case?
Yes, I think now businesses have learnt that. You know, there was a time when...
Like for us, it is content is king, and we have to agree to that. You write good content, your TV channel works better.
Exactly.
So customers...
No, there was a time, say 10, 20 years back, if you went with the product to the person you bought it from, they'd say, well, it's too bad. And they couldn't care less. But now they know, because there is competition, that quality does matter. And I think everyone is conscious of it.
Here we're getting a lot of good advice here. Why not let's go across to our audience for sure to take some questions from them, somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur or is an existing entrepreneur, or what would they want to ask from you? Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you were talking about, you know, we can understand now that ever since the concept of CSR, especially the 2% factor, which became mandatory post 2014, ever since the new dispensation came into being. So a lot of people, they indulge in philanthropy. That is what you were saying, that they indulge in philanthropy for the sake of it. And whereas for some people, some individuals, some entrepreneurs, it is 365 days a year. So how do you, 365 days a year?
Can I just correct that? I was saying that before the act came, we were, I won't say indulging, yes, we were doing, which is slightly different. I'm saying this is the pre-act part, that those who wanted to do did and the others didn't do. Yeah.
No,
so
I understood
what's
that.
the
I understood
question?
that part. No, my question is very
Yeah.
simple. You see, what happens is that a lot of people, they indulge in CSR, but then there is all the difference in the world between CSR and philanthropy. That is what needs to be understood. So what you are talking today is all about philanthropy, and then doing it with all passion, with all commitment, and then making all the difference in the world to the lives of people, bringing about a smile on the faces of those in distress, suffering, and pain. So how do you enlighten? What do you think are the challenges, especially for women entrepreneurs, to indulge
Yes, sir. We've
and to
got the
engage
question.
in philanthropy on a regular basis?
Yeah.
See, there are two things. Corporate social responsibility, I don't agree is interchangeable with philanthropy. Philanthropy was at a time like when the Birlas wanted to make a mandir, or they wanted to make a school, or I want to go and, किसी को खाना खिला दिया या मैंने individually दान दे दिया. CSR is more on a long-term basis, which is going to create that change in the social development sector. This is part of development. This is what is CSR, which is being done as a corporate. So what we do is individually, मैंने घर में पुराने कपड़े निकाले और किसी को बांट दिए in the slum. That is philanthropy. That's my own thing. But if I want to do CSR, it has to be organized, it has to be planned, and it has to be recurrent, and it has to build up. For example, I don't go out and say कि आज हम टीके लगाएंगे slum में. We first get the NGO concerned who is working there to give us data. Then we work out on basis of the age and the child कि data कि हमने कौन सा लगाना है टीका. And then we make sure that second dose and third dose that kid comes back. And so it has to be something which is planned, which is recurrent, and which is building up. It is more organized. It is a paradigm shift. It is philanthropy can coexist on an individual basis.
Sir, I think your question has been answered well. As we're running out of time, Shivani, one last question to you. एक advice जो आप एक woman entrepreneur को देंगे जो अपना business अब शुरू करना चाहती हैं.
I would say that, as I have already mentioned, there is no better time than this. Have faith in yourself. That is the most important, and don't get bogged down by what people say. Because it's your inner belief, and believe that you can do it and you will do it.
Thank you so much, Shivani, and thank you so much, Mohini, for being with us today. And आज आप सबको ऐसे दो entrepreneurs से advice मिली है कि अब से ज़्यादा बेहतर time नहीं है अगर कोई भी women entrepreneur अपने लिए एक business शुरू करना चाहती है. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
थैंक यू सो मच ऋचा. और हम दोनों ही मेहमानों को सैल्यूट करना चाहेंगे. ITV आप दोनों को सैल्यूट करता है. आप दोनों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, क्योंकि असल मायने में आप विमेन अचीवर्स हैं और रियल हीरोज हैं.